integrity, meaning they believe in the scriptures. From generation to generation shall they dwell therein. These are the righteous, those who keep his commandments, those who do not waver, those who try to do what's right in the eyes of the Most High.
Menu picture in picture.
Will see
Expand button. Menu.
the kingdom.
YouTube picture in picture. Hide
Now,
control.
let's go to the juggernaut. Let's go to Matthew. 25 and 31. Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, who's the Son of Man? Yahweh Shai, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, not all religions.
Right.
Brother Reverend Price, I know you read that, all nations. He must have had, brother must have had an NIV book, because it may have changed the nations part. But nations is not, America is not a nation, right? It's a melting pot of people from various nations. Okay, I don't have to go into that. You brothers should understand that already. Verse 32, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father. Who are the blessed? Who is the only people that he called blessed? Children of Israel. Come ye blessed of my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. So if you look at this world, I'm talking about the earth itself, as a whole society, it's a beautiful place. We have waterfalls here. We have glaciers up north. We have beautiful deserts, which won't be deserts anymore, but that's a part of beauty. We have mountains. We have lakes. Okay, wherever you go, the earth is beautiful. The Most High is going to enhance the earth with his beauty when he says, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. The whole earth is going to replenish. So now we know, when you read like Isaiah, he tells you what the new earth is going to be about. We're not going to go there because I want to make a point showing you who these people are that he sets on his right hand. Because like many brothers think, they think, all you got to be is good, meaning just be a nice person and you get into the kingdom. No, he's talking about those who keep his laws, statutes, commandments, will inherit everlasting life through Yahweh Shai. Through Yahweh Shai. So let's go into the book of Baruch. Let's find out who these people are that he's going to set on one side and set on another. Baruch is in the 1611 King James Apocrypha, but it's also in this Sefer, which is a part of the Septuagint. And we're going to go to Baruch, we're going to go to 2nd Baruch verse, we're going to go to 2nd Baruch chapter 72. And check this out. This is why, many people thought that we were just making this stuff up. No, we wasn't making this stuff up. So it says here, hear now regarding the bright lightning which is to come at the consummation after these black waters. This is the word. After the signs have come of which you were told before, when the nations become turbulent and the time of Hamashiach is come, he shall both summon all the nations, what we just read in Matthew 25 and 31. And some of them he shall spare. Some of these nations he's going to spare. We have the Edomites, we have the Moabites, we have the Ammonites, we have the Ishmaelites, we have the nation of Israel, we have the Hamites, right? It says, and some of them he shall slay. So he's going to spare some of these nations and he's going to slay others. Now he's going to break it down. These things therefore shall come upon the nations which are to be spared by him. Spared. Every nation which knows not Yasharallah and has not trodden down the seed of Jacob shall indeed be spared. So now it's talking about nations again. What nation? The children of Israel. It says, if anyone has not trodden down the seed of Jacob shall indeed be spared.
Have not enslaved us.
Japheth may be spared.
Japheth.
Because we don't hear about Japheth doing anything to us.
Right.
It says, this because some of every nation shall be subject to your people, but all those who have ruled over you or have known you shall be given up to the sword. See that? Now what we've been saying is true. See that?
Right.
We haven't been lying to you. We told you that those nations that the Most High is going to divide are going to be all nations, and He's going to take Israel out. And those who kept His law, statutes, and commandments of Israel will be blessed. He's going to set us, it talks about that in Joel 3. He's going to set us on a mountain, and He's going to show all the nations who we are.
Right.
And we're going to rule over them with the rod of iron, just like Yahushua is going to rule over them.
Right.
And those who have not spoken bad about the children of Israel, who did not know us, for them not to know us, then they must know that they didn't know that we were the children of Israel. See that?
And they did not enslave us.
Now, how's that possible? There is a whole state. There is a state of Israel in the Middle East, and everybody know who the Jewish people are. How is it possible that they didn't know us? Because it's been hidden. The true people of the Bible are the Negroes, the Native Americans, and those of Latinos of Negroid descent are the true people of the Bible that's been scattered abroad. How are they going to know that? But they're going to find out when they go into the kingdom, because the Most High is going to allow them to go into the kingdom, just like He said in Isaiah chapter 14. Let's go there real quick. Isaiah 14, and we're going to read from 1 to 2. It says, for the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet, He tells you right here, He's going to choose Israel and set them in their own land, just like we just read in the book of 2 Baruch. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, those who are of the other nations that are spared.
I believe
And the
that's
people shall
strange.
take them and bring them to their place.
You see?
Who are the people that's going to take them? Israelites,
The other
the
nations.
12 tribes of Israel. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High
We're going to possess
for
them.
servants and handmaids. So all those who are spared are going to be servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Because some of those will be Edomites, some of those will be Moabites, some of those will be Ammonites, who are the sons of the fathers who had us in captivity, but the sons have forgotten who we were. See that? So what this book is telling you are the secrets of the mysteries of what's going to happen. Now, how would the people not know that we are the children of Israel? Let's go to Revelation chapter 2. Because they have planted a new seed in the earth, hiding the children of Israel. And that's what Ezekiel 38 talks about, that Israel will be hidden. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. It reads, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Who's rich? Who's in poverty? Who has tribulation? It's the Negroes, Native Americans, and the Latinos of Negroid descent. Those are the true biblical people. Because I know thy works, because we all love the Most High. When they rushed that Capitol up in Washington, there was a sister in there. She was a representative. I think she may have been a representative of Connecticut. She was the only one praying with her mouth so loud that the whole thing shut down, that the men that was running in there, ransacking that place, it came to a stop. She was praying very loud where everyone could hear. She said it started out quietly and then I got loud. By the time she finished that prayer, all them people were out. She was of the children of Israel, that representative. I'll try to post her face. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. See that? So Yahushua is telling you about what's going to happen in the future, and we are in that future now. We are not in the medieval times right now, which is the Middle Ages. We are at the end times. This is why people don't know who we are. This is why they put us in brackets in the internet where people can't find us teaching the word. This is why when you go into the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, everyone's going to be shook. Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, the 1611 King James Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1, when it reads, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such, before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right.
To him is a nation of people. To him are the children of Israel. And made no account of his labors. Whose labors? The children of Israel.
Labor.
All the work that we done did in slavery, and they discouraged us.
All the way back.
Right? They talked bad about us. They took our inventions from us.
Yep.
They don't look at our merit. They don't look at our justice or anything. It says when they see it, who's the they? Those are all the heathen nations that spoke bad about us. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they that looked for. And they repenting and grow. They're going to try to repent then. It's going to be the end of Esau.
Yep.
Because they love this world, this system that we're heading for.
It'll be over. Done.
It's the end of the world. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, and this is our own people too, because they're taking liberty to do their evil too.
Right.
I just heard about this event called the ECD or something like that happened in Vegas. You got 400,000 people going to this thing to have a good time. Most of them are high. You got people showing up with no clothes on. 400,000 people. Utter wickedness.
Naked.
This is, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Right? They call us nigger. They call us spick. Right? They make fun of all of us. We fools account this life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Israel? How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. They can't believe it. Us Negroes, Native Americans. Therefore, have we erred from the way of truth and the light of righteousness? Hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Most High, we have not known it. They have not known it. Christianity did not know the ways of the Most High, or else our young men wouldn't be slayed down in the streets of the ghettos or the cities, inner cities. What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. See that? They're done. They're finished. They are finished. They spoke bad about us. Let's go to Baruch 3:20. Baruch 3:20. It reads, young men. It says, young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge have they not known. These are young men who didn't know the truth. What does it mean that young men have seen light? A lot of these young brothers that are of the 12 tribes of Israel seen the light of the Most High, but they didn't change. It's kind of like in the Christian churches. You get new believers and they're on fire, and the rest of the church is not on fire because they've been members for 50, 60 years. They have lost that spirit. They've lost that fire, that hotness. When they have new spirits in the churches, that's when they need the law, statutes, and commandments to feed them, to give them discipline. They don't get that there. That's why it says young men have seen light. They seen the light, they read the Bible, but they didn't get to understand it. It says young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge have they not known, nor understood the paths thereof, nor laid hold of it. Their children were far off from that way. What way? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Yeah, so this is the truth, and I pray that all those who see this understand it now. I did speak about what's going to happen in the kingdom. Let's drop down to 73. Chapter 73, we'll drop down to verse 4. It says, and judgments and revealings and contentions and revenges and blood and passions and envy and hatred and whatsoever things are like these shall go into condemnation when they are removed. All wickedness is going to disappear. All these traits are going to be destroyed. Whoever possessed these traits are going to die. It's not meant for the kingdom. Passions of different things, sports and all that crap. Passions of different things like your job and I'm an artist and all this. Those passions are going to go away. All that. It says, for it is these very things which have filled this world with evils, and on account of these the life of man has been greatly troubled. Verse 6. And wild beasts shall come from the forest and minister unto men, and ass and dragons shall come forth from their holes to submit themselves to a little child. What is that talking about? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11, because Isaiah chapter 11 talks about the kingdom of Jacob. Let's read this because it goes along with what we just read. It says, but with righteous shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. Who is the meek of the earth? Israel. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth. Who is that? Yahushua. And with the breath of his lips, fire and tempest is going to come out of his mouth. Shall he slay the wicked? We just read who the wicked was in 2nd Baruch. It says, and righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. It says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, the goat, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. See, it goes along with what we just read in Baruch, 2nd Baruch. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox, and the suckling child shall play on the hole of the ass. Right? And I mean, you think about a rattler snake, that rattler is for children to play with. It's like a toy. And the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockroach's den. The children are going to play with cockroaches. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be a pestilence like it is today. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Most High, as the waters cover the sea. So it's telling you here that the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Most High. The whole earth is going to transform. See that? Let's go back. Baruch, chapter 73. 2nd Baruch, chapter 73, and verse 6. It says, and wild beasts shall come from the forest and minister unto men, and ass and dragon shall come, and ass and dragon shall come forth from their holes to submit themselves to a little child. We just read that. And women shall no longer then have pain when they bear. No more periods for you women. No more cycles for you women. It says, nor shall they suffer torment when they yield the fruit of the womb. See that?
See?
So we are going to replenish the earth.
Birth pain's gone.
We're not going to be just dwelling somewhere in the clouds.
You see?
So that's where I'm going to stop. But the main thing is, Matthew 25's precept is here. These things therefore shall come upon the nations which are to be spared by him. Every nation which knows not Yahshua and has not trodden down the seed of Jacob shall indeed be spared. This because some out of every nation shall be subjected to the Israelites, like we read in Isaiah 14. But all those who have ruled over you or have known you shall be given up to the sword. A lot of people are going to pass away during that time. They're going to run from the earthquake and run into the fire. They're going to run from the fire, those who escape, and run into the pestilence. And then when they make it here, they're just going to get caved in by Yahweh Shai. They're going to get slayed, except for those who did not know us. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Just a quick little class. Shalom.
Shalom.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
You didn't know that the day came to be taken away. And you know about the separation of the nation. The Son of God. You heard about it.